This is the Tesla 1 month overview reading for the month of November 2023. It's currently September 21st, 2023, 12:09 p.m. Eastern Time. Tesla at the time of this reading is $257.55 USD, and the shuffle file that we're about to play for the November reading was created on September 3rd, 2023 at 3:12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. So we're going to get into not only the overall general direction, the highs and the lows, and determining the dates of those, as well as the best trades that we see as we progress through this reading. Before we do that, let's just make sure people are aware of the rule of karma, which is the whole purpose of the channel. The rule of karma, what we're asking is that people who are profiting from this information we're giving out freely here, that they take 5% of the profits that they make and they donate it forward to one of these charities here on a resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits should be donated back to the channel, saying thank you, and also that's what supports the channel. It leaves you with 90% of the money left over. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you're setting yourself up to manifest wealth. The universe considers you an angel investor of the channel, and it's going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel, my friends. Before we go further though, let's also take a look and see how we did in how we're doing in September thus far. All right, so we had a high on the 11th, and it looks like we had a closing closing high on the 11th. We had an intraday high on the 12th, but a closing high on the, well, okay, so pretty close. You could say we were off by a day there, really. And then we had this pretty sharp drop on the 12th, move to the upside on the 14th, pop and drop on the 15th, and then a sharp drop on the 18th, another prominent crest on the 20th, and what should be the lowest low here on the 21st. So it didn't end up being a lowest low, but it's probably going to come close to a lowest low here. There's also a possibility of another one here at the end of the month, but my sense is that this is pretty accurate. The first day of the month, we had this really sharp drop, brief peak that was easily missed, and then there was kind of like caution advised, prominent trough on the 7th. Yeah, this is looking really accurate, guys. And then when we look at the 2023, we were off on a highest high here. We have it for August and ended up being midway into July. But if you give the 1 year reading about 2 weeks of wiggle room, which you should do, just follow the sequence of events and give it about 2 weeks wiggle room. This is pretty darn accurate. We have the highest high here in August, well, on the edge of August, and we have it here in August. And then really looking at this now, this reading was done back. This reading was done all the way back on January 22nd of 2023. So all the way back then, since that time, I've learned quite a lot about the 1 year spreads. And I can tell you that I see a definitive highest high here in November. We had one on kind of like the cusp of October, November, and my sense is that we actually have it here in November, but it's pretty definitively the same high. So it'll be as high as this high here, or it'll be higher. That's the completed shuffle file. So the reviews, the readings are looking pretty good. Let's get into the remainder of November. So overall trend, brief peak that's easily missed, followed by a decline through multiple support levels. It's crossed with erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level, in the midst of which we revisit a crest that was a past opportunity. And what I see taking place is that we have a high early in the month. Looks like we probably have a high somewhere right around the 8th. There's several reasons why my sense is that we have one there. All right, so we have several reasons why there's likely a highest high here. There's correlations about the high and the low here, so it's a little tricky, but my sense is that based on the labradorite stone, we have this cross-reading congruency. In other words, the Queen of Cups is the significator card in the October cluster of the 1 year. The Queen of Cups appears as the high card in the October cluster of the 2023 1 year, so it's a cross-reading congruency, in other words, which gives it a lot of gravitas, that it's there. The other location where it might end up being, it could end up being around the Ace of Wands, but my sense is that the first high is probably here around the 8th, plus or minus a day, but most likely right there on the 8th. The second high is at the end of the month, probably on the 28th. It could be anywhere between the 28th and the 30th, based on some the abundance card, some same reading congruencies between the high correlator and the power card. So there's some indication that we go from a high into a low into a high, and there's some places where the low is a lot more difficult to determine in this reading, but my sense is that it's most likely here on the 22nd, and it's most likely the revisiting of a low. So we may see the low here on the 16th, and I say that because there's no correlation between the low correlator and any of the timeline cards, except for the one over here, which indicates a high. So my sense is that really it's the same kind of behavior. The Lover's card is a move higher and then a move back down. So you could consider it kind of like a thematic kind of congruency, where you have a pop and drop here with the Hermit card. It's a very vague relationship, so it may not hold up. But my sense is that we're going to revisit the low here on the 22nd, and we'll have seen it somewhere else before then, probably there on the 16th or the 17th, maybe even the 20th. But I'm going to circle off So the best trades, there's quite a few trades in here I'm going to get into. Before we do that, guys, just want you guys to know, like, the full prediction, you get that through the website tarotfortraders.com. It's our paid version. It has all of the best trades that we see for the month. You go to our services, SMO to posts on tarotfortraders.com, and you scroll down to monthly subscription, click here, and you can subscribe to any of these ticker or crypto. We do these every month. There's also ones that aren't for monthly subscription, like we do Google and Amazon every month, and there's one-offs that come along as well. The only way that you can access those is through the $250 subscription. So highly recommend that. That's our most popular subscription as it is, and this is a really great way to support the channel. The channel does need your support, so if you like this content and you find it helpful, please support the channel by doing so. It's the best way to help out. Much appreciation to everybody that does it. We know who you are. We know your names. We recognize you on the lives, my friends. The single best trade. All right, so there's a couple ways that you can play what's going on over here. So this peak that we have on, and guys, keep in mind, I'm not right all the time. So what you want to do is you want to look for these, you want to look at the general timing like I'm talking about the 8th right now, so right around the 8th, what you're looking for on a multi-day chart scale is a rally through a diagonal trend line on the 7th, most likely early in the day, big move higher, and then a rally along a diagonal trend line that breaks through horizontal resistance to meet a second resistance and then pulls back to somewhere between those two price levels. After a rally like that, there should be a high like at the end of that, like a highest high. So when you see a highest high, that would be a good indication to open up a short position, which you could close into several different places. The right thing to do is go to our website, Tarot for Traders, SO Meta Posts, scroll down to monthly subscription, and click on the subscription. That'll give you the full paid version of the prediction where we talk about all of the trades that we see and which trades are the best trades to go for. We're not right all the time, but my friends, we're right a lot of the time. Somebody that knows how to trade already and is looking for an edge, this is definitely beneficial. And again, it's the right thing to do. That's how you support the channel. And this is the best way to support the channel that way. That and the rule of karma, my friends, which everybody should be following. Bless your souls for all those of you doing so.